So, during the past week or so, we have been talking about how to tell what the characters in our personal narratives say and do. What are two ways we can show what they say or tell what they say? What's one way, Gracie? Okay, Emma? Okay, yes, we do that. But what are the two ways we show what someone says? What's one way, Lily? Speech bubbles. That's right. And what was the other way, Xavier? Quotation marks. Yes, quotation marks. And we say, Miss Doty said, and then quotation marks, you all are good today, okay? Or you can have a picture of me with the speech bubble pointed to me. When I say Miss Doty says on the speech bubble, do I say Miss Doty says in the speech bubble? No, because the speech bubble is pointing to me. So we don't have to say Miss Doty says. We just say the words. Everyone's being good today. Chase it on your bottom. We're going to take chair away if you keep doing that. Okay, so today I want to teach you that we can use what characters say and do to show how they are feeling. So instead of saying that I'm happy, I can show what the character's doing or saying to show that they're happy without even saying that they're happy. So for instance, it was Annika's birthday. She was happy. So what's something someone might do if they're happy? What might they do, Isaiah?
With a huge smile.
Okay, so that's something they might have on them, but what could they do? What would their body maybe do? Gracie? Okay, so kind of scream and shout or jump, right? What about skip? Do y'all skip when you're happy?
Yeah.
No, some of you do. Okay, so I might say it was Anna's birthday. She jumped for joy, like Gracie did, for joy, and skipped through the house. Through the house. The house. She said, "Hooray, it's my birthday."
That's what I did last year on my birthday.
Okay, so instead of saying she was happy, I showed what she said and what she did, right? I didn't say she was happy, but you know she's happy because she jumped for joy, skipped to the house, and said, "Hooray, it's my birthday." 3 things she did. That's it. So instead of saying it was Annika's birthday, she was happy, I would say it was Annika's birthday. She jumped for joy and skipped to the house. She said, "Hooray, it's my birthday." Let's do another one. Jackson's dog ran away. He was sad. What's something he might do if his dog ran away? Emma? Cry. What's else something that his body might do? Heather? Right, he might put his head down. Sydney? He might shake, okay. What's something he might do? Or what's something he might say? What's something he might say, Wyatt? Okay. Corbin?
Do you think he's okay?
Do you think he's okay? Okay. Gracie? My dog ran away, yes. Okay, so we could say that he asked if he was okay. That wouldn't show that he's sad. That would show he might be, what would that show, Corbin? Worried. Yeah, they might be worried. Yeah, so Jackson's dog ran away. He wondered if he was okay and sobbed. Instead of said, I'm going to say he sobbed. I wonder where he is. He started to cry. And laid his head down. I did put quotation marks. He said, I wonder where he is. Where he is. He wondered if he was okay and sobbed. I wonder where he is. He started to cry and laid his head down. So that shows he's sad, right? Did I say he was sad? No. But the things he did and the things he said shows that he was sad. Okay, my brother broke my doll. I was angry. What would you do if you were angry because your brother broke your doll? And do not say hit him, because that's not what we're going to say. But what would you do if your brother broke your doll to show you were angry? Gracie? Scream. What would you do, Cooper? Good. Okay, so tell your dad and mom. How would you walk in the room? What would you do? Well, I'm going to tell you what you would do. Blaze? Stomped, yeah. So maybe he would say, Brother Bertrand, and I would say, how could you? How could you? And we said, screamed at him. I stomped out of the room. And raced to my parents to tell on him. To my mom or dad? Mom. To tell on him. All right, I said mom. All right, waterfall, waterfall. Please stop banging. My brother broke my doll. How could you? I screamed at him. I stomped out of the room and raced to my mom to tell on him. So I didn't need to say I was angry, did I? Because I showed it. I showed it by what I said and what I did. So we're going to look at a book where this happens. We're going to be reading this book throughout this whole week. It's called Too Many Tamales. All right? So, waterfall, waterfall. Snow drifted through the streets, and now that it was dusk, Christmas trees glittered in the windows. Maria moved her nose off the glass and came back to the counter. She was acting grown-up now, helping her mother make tamales. Her hands were sticky with masa. That's very good, her mother said. Turn your body around. Maria happily kneaded the masa. She felt grown up wearing her mother's apron. Her mom had even let her wear lipstick and perfume. If only I could wear Mom's ring, she thought to herself. Maria's mother had placed her diamond ring on the kitchen counter. Maria loved that ring. She loved how it sparkled like their Christmas tree lights. When her mother left the kitchen to answer the telephone, Maria couldn't help herself. She wiped her hands on the apron and looked back at the door. I'll wear the ring for just 1 minute, she said to herself. The ring sparkled on her thumb. Maria returned to kneading the masa, her hands pumping it up and down. On her thumb, the ring disappeared, then reappeared in the sticky glob of dough. Her mother returned and took the bowl from her. Go get your father for this part, she said. Uh-oh. Then the three of them began to spread masa onto corn husks. Maria's father helped by plopping a spoonful of meat in the center and folding the husk. He then placed them in a large pot on the stove. They made 24 tamales as the windows grew white with delicious-smelling curls of steam. A few hours later, the family came over with armfuls of bright presents. Her grandparents, her uncle and aunt, and her cousins Dolores, Teresa, and Danny. Maria kissed everyone hello. Then she grabbed Dolores by the arm and took her upstairs to play with the other cousins tagging along after them. They cut out papers from the newspaper, pictures of toys they were hoping were wrapped and sitting underneath the Christmas tree. As Maria was snipping out a picture of a pearl necklace, a shock spread through her body. It's telling me what happened. A shock spread through her body. The ring! She screamed. She's telling me what she said. Everyone stared at her. What ring? Dolores asked. Without answering, Maria ran to the kitchen. So, it doesn't tell me how she's feeling right now. It just says that a shock spread through her body. She screamed the ring, tells me what she said, and that everyone stared at her, and without answering, what did she do? She ran to the kitchen. Chase, put that right here. That's not how we play with that thing. So, it's just told me what she said and what she did, but what do you think she's feeling right now? What is she feeling? What is she feeling? Kate, what is she feeling? The author didn't tell us the feeling word, but what do you think she's feeling as she screamed and a shock ran through her and she ran to the kitchen? Maybe embarrassed? Worried. That's what I was looking for. She's worried. And maybe a little scared, right?
Yeah.
Because she just realized she probably lost her mom's diamond ring. Okay, we'll read the rest of the story as we go through this week with our writing. But I wanted to show you how an author does this in a story. So today in our writing, we're going to work on our story, and we're going to go back to what we've already done. We're going to go back and reread our story. And if there was a part where you said, I was so happy, or he was sad, or she was sad, or I was sad, tell me, instead of saying I was sad, cross it off and tell me something you said and you did that shows you were sad. Instead of saying I was sad, do something you saw you did or you said instead of that. Okay, we're going to try to make it more interesting for our readers that read our story. So go back in your story, read through it, and see if there's a place where you said I was sad or I was happy. And then mark that out and make it to where you said something. If you need a sticky note to add stuff to it, so if you don't have room where a carrot would go, you can get a sticky note and put it on top of that spot and write the words. The sticky notes are right up here. So you can get a sticky note to write it on. Chase, put your mask on. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to show you an example of my story. I didn't say I already did what we were talking about, so I'm not going to change it. But it said here, I heard the man said, tornado warning, take cover, and I could hear the wind howling. So instead of saying I was scared, right, I'm going to say, then I ran to grab some blankets and yelled to marry my husband. And I'm going to change this to and say, I yelled to marry my husband. Get in the bathroom. Okay, so I didn't say I was scared, but do you think I might have been scared? Yes, because I ran to grab some blankets and I yelled to get in the bathroom. So those two things show that I might be scared. So I didn't say I was scared, but I said what I did and what I said. So I did change it a little bit because I changed this to be my actual words in quotation marks like we learned last week. Okay, how many of you found a spot that you could change? It's okay if you didn't. These are just new things we're learning. Okay, so how many found a spot? Okay, Kate, what did it originally say before you changed it? Okay, it said you were sad, and then what did you say? How did you change it to say? You were shocked. Okay, did you say anything you did? Or said? No. Okay, well try something you did or you said. Heather, what did it originally say? What did it say before you changed it? I was sad. So did you tell me something you did or you said instead? What did you say instead I was sad? What did you do or say? Oh man, I don't want you to leave. That is something you would say when you're sad, isn't it? I like that. So instead of saying I was sad, I said, oh man, I don't want you to leave. Very good, Heather. What's the thing that you changed, Emma?
So, I said I was scared, then I changed it to I was worried.
Okay, but that's still a feeling. So what did you do or say that showed me you were worried? What did you do or say? It could be either one or both. You shook? Yeah, because you're worried. So I shook with worry. That would be better than saying I was worried, right? So change it to that. I shook. I was so worried. Very good. Okay. So looking at this, we're going to put this up on the wall here. It says, show, don't tell how your characters are feeling. So instead of saying he was sad, you could say Juan began to cry. Instead of saying she was happy, you could say something they said. This is awesome, said Elizabeth. Instead of saying he was mad, you could say Bobby glared at me. That's what someone does when they're mad, right? They glare at you. They look at you with a big scowl on their face. So it doesn't have to be both, what they said and what they did, but at least you need to try to do one that's different than just saying I'm sad or I'm happy or I'm mad. Something you said or did or the character said or did. So I'm going to put this up there to remind us some examples. And then this is going to go under our details because that's what we're doing is we're adding details to our story. Show how the character feels with details about what they do and say or something they do or say. It could be do and say or do and or say. So I'm going to put this up here under our details and put this up there to give you some examples.